Hi guys, in today's video I would like to show you my modifications of the Reely core that I recently bought in an online auction. It's a Reely core that came with 2.4 GHz controller. The controller seems to be working, although the electronics, the receiver and the ESC was simply dead and basically not worth replacing with original one, since it cost about $25 and I have bought the entire car for less than $25, so it wasn't worth it. In the original model there were two I believe 1750s batteries that were held in these battery compartments, and I have slightly modified it, and I have quickly noticed that it can easily fit the more standard one, 18650, just by cutting this plastic spacer, cutting this out, and by epoxying that original tab at the end of the enclosure. Also, I had to unsolder and change the wiring inside the car, but besides that, it worked out of the box. I had to green the remainings of that tab, because as you can see the battery is not so flat in this box, but I don't care that much about that, because I'm planning to modify it and add some 3S battery, basically 3S 2P, and so I will have to place it outside of those little battery covers, battery cases. I'm using the original servo that came with the model, and it has a servo saver, as you can see. The original servo was 5-wire. I have cut out the wire and I have placed the electronics from a smaller SG90 servo and wired the motor inside the servo and the potentiometer. I have replaced the connectors with TDs, which are basically way cheaper. I'm using the receiver for GT3B, as this is my remote control that I have and I'm planning to use, and I have placed a quite big ESC, and I have simply used a zip tie to mount it in place, since there was there is only little room for it to move side to side. It cannot move forward and backward, so it's pretty good. Also, what's more? Yeah, I have in plans that to add a heat shrink around the connectors. I'm also using, as you can see, there are two TDs connectors, and one for the motor, and this is the original motor, from this model. And I have also only changed the wires and add TD's connector to it. So that's basically it. And I was also able to put the ESC on-off switch in the original place of the model. So with the shell body on the top, I can still access the on-off switch, which is great. And it runs. And the servo, I need to make some endpoint adjustments for that. But beside that, it works great. And in case you are wondering what's inside this box, this is my box for 18650s recycled batteries that are spaced nicely in this box. So yeah, I can store multiple of them and they don't get charged. I have an easy access to basically everyone in every battery in this box, so I highly recommend making such cardboard boxes if you are into recycling all laptop batteries. And as you can see here, I've got something that will perfectly fit the model. I hope so. And I'm planning to have a plastic enclosure for that at the bottom of the model to make it more rigid. Thanks for watching. Bye.